In 1967, the young nation of Nigeria descended into chaos. Ethnic tensions, political fractures, and fierce struggle for independence ignited one of the deadliest civil wars in African history. The result? Over 1 million lives lost, many of them women and children. Well, before we dive into today's video, I just want to thank you guys because we finally hit 1,000 subscribers, and I wanted to thank you guys for that. To every single subscriber, commentator, and history nerd who joined this journey, thank you so much. You're now officially part of the Simple African History Empire. Here we don't have taxes though. The only thing you have to do is subscribe if you haven't yet. So thank you, and now let's get back to the video. In 1914, the British colonial government merged hundreds of ethnic groups and kingdoms into one artificial colony, and they called it Nigeria. But for the people who lived there, mainly the Hausa Fulani people in the north, the Yoruba people of the west, and the Igbo people in the east, with many other small groups that would normally not see each other as peers, into one country. The Igbo in the east were mainly Christians and for centuries had built their own unique civilization and culture. Igbo society was remarkably egalitarian by African and global standards at the time. The Igbo people were highly innovative and progressive. In contrast with the north, the Hausa Fulani made up of around 65% of the population. Predominantly Muslim, they lived under a deeply rooted feudal system, where religion and political power were intertwined. In these societies, obedience to authority was seen as a religious duty. Living a modest life as a farmer, herder, or craftsman was a honorable, not a shameful path. While the North had order and tradition, it also had a bit of a learning curve when it came to, well, anything new. They were highly conservative. Hey, the South just opened 3 new circular schools. They also started a soap factory, and get this, someone invented yam flour. Soap? Soap factory? Didn't you know soap is for sinners? That stuff is haram. Real men use sand. Sand? Yeah, man, it cleans way better than soap. I'm just playing with you. I hope you are. You see, the North values tradition, very much so much in fact that anything new was seen as a threat. So this conservatism made the North slower to embrace secular education and new economical ideas. It brought internal order, but it also meant that the region was less economically dynamic compared to the South. In the southwest, the Yoruba, and in many ways, they stood somehow between the Igbo and the Hausa Fulani, both in politics and religion. While the majority were Christians, a large number were also Muslims, and many still practiced traditional religions. Spiritually diverse, the Yoruba were culturally unified by deep respect for tradition and intellect. Just like the Igbo people, the Yoruba admired individual achievements, often channeled ambitions into education and scholarship. From poetry to philosophy, Yoruba culture carried a profound reverence for creative excellence. Now, historically speaking, the Yoruba societies coexisted peacefully with their south and east neighbors. The sharper culture difference was with the north, between the Yoruba pluralism and the Hausa Fulani theocratic conservatism. So while the south sprinted into the 21st century with wide-eyed open ambitions, the north, however, kind of walked in and looked around and said, maybe the next century we're going to try to embrace modernity. When independence came in 1960, ethnic and regional competition for power and resources intensified. Nigeria inherited not a united people but a fragile alliance built on major distrust. And with this foundation, the post-independence years were marked by political chaos and corruption. Ethnic groups competed for power, alliances shifted, suspicion ran really deep. Then in January of 1966, a group of mostly Igbo military officers decided to fix things. Guys, this country is going to shit. Corruption is ruining this country. You know what? Let's try to fix it. Let's just assassinate everyone in this list. When did you make this list? Just right now? Yeah, I think it's a good idea. It would definitely not cause any future problems. Then, in January of 1966, a group of mostly Igbo officers staged a coup. They took out several top leaders, northern and western, including the prime minister. Ouch. Though the coup was declared a move against corruption, but in the north, people began to think, oh wow, have you guys noticed all the people who died were not Igbo? What a weird coincidence, right? You're right. We didn't think about this before. Hey man, something is definitely going on here and we have no idea about. Many in the north saw it as an Igbo conspiracy to seize control of the entire country. And 6 months later, things got even worse. You know what we should do, guys? Let's coup back even harder. And in no time, the North struck back with a counter coup. Northern officers took control. It was brutal. Nigeria's first military head of state, General Oguye Orosi, an Igbo, was murdered. And what followed next was even worse. Across northern Nigeria, mobs attacked Igbo civilians in homes, on the streets, in the markets, even in the bathrooms. Nobody was safe. Men and women and children were killed. About over 30,000 Igbos lost their lives. The Nigerian government, now led by Colonel Yakubu Gowon, did little to stop the violence. Hundreds of thousands of Igbos fled back into the east, terrified and angry. The promise of one Nigeria was dead, and in its place, a new idea began to rise.